Hi, my name is Anne, and I don't know what I'm doing in life or as a creative person within the environment of extremely creative people within social media. I want to have my life filled with art, something that I can create, something that is done by my own hands, and something that is unique and creative and can make a change. Yet I doubt myself quite deeply just because of the world that we live in, surrounded by so many posts, messages, and living in this really fast world, trying to figure out what I'm doing. While the creatives around me make the most amazing and beautiful pieces without seem to be a worry or having any issues, despite the fact that I understand that it is just an illusion and trying to create the most perfect version of your art and even your life as is. So, despite me not knowing what to do, I want to start creating. I don't have an art background, I don't have any particular skill. I'm able to do. I tried a lot of crafts in my life. I have a full-time job which is not related to arts and crafts, yet I desperately want this to become my life. As a young adult I feel a lot of pressure fitting into the whole environment of better, stronger, everything needs to be perfect. You have to have this and this and that is pulled in for us with social media and such. And I feel lost and stuck and left out, to be quite honest, because nobody really shows the realistic life of not just creative, but even an average, the ups and downs, mistakes. So I decided to start doing something. I do not know where this will go. I do not know if I will be able to do it, but I said let it be. So I decided what is the easiest craft I know. The reason I chose resin, the one that I'm mixing in right now, is because it seems semi-simple and something that I can possibly figure out by myself without many tutorials and without anything that could require a lot of supervision, so to say. How truthful it is? I already find out that's not the case. I've tried a few things and I ran out into a lot of issues, just like with any craft there is, by making the most basic mistakes of not mixing resin correctly, so it's not curing. So now I have body foot, spanking machine, I'm not sure. By trying to sand out edges and ended up scratching the surface to stuff. By not mixing colors correctly and ended up with something that is almost transparent, while the whole idea seemed to be pretty okay with my friend. And in general, coming on once again with ideas that are frankly ugly. So what I ultimately want to do is to show the process of me just finding myself, getting more comfortable with everything, with the craft as is, and with the process of filming. I am quite nervous doing this. I'm not used to filming myself. I'm not even sure how I'm going to be able to edit this because not much editing skills. I have barely any, to be honest. And also because I'm quite scared of what I'm going to hear. Yet I have a hope that through pushing myself to the limit, especially seeing that many people have done the same thing many times, it will lead to something, a craft that I love, a skill, an idea. And that's something I desperately wish for, to reach in no matter what, because the pressure is real and I want to know that there is something in me that could be special, that could be seen as something that's needed, something that could create something beautiful. By the way, this is a really pretty leaf that I found. It's pretty. How long it will take does not matter. How many tries it will take does not matter. Do I know what I'm doing? 100% not. Am I even showing the most authentic version of myself as I'm speaking right now? Not really. Too nervous. Too blood nervous. But I'm hoping that with time, I will be able to get the confidence, the understanding, the skills, to create something beautiful that can make my life have more meaning, something that I can share, something that I can bond with people, something that is unique. Every day on social media, Instagram, I see so many amazing, talented, beautiful artists who create the most stunning, the most out of the blue art. And I always wonder, how long did it take them? And do I have something in me that is of value as much as their craft is? Because we never see the amount of time, the amount of mistakes, progress that took for them. It's only we see the beauty. That's why the art is so underrated nowadays. It's because people don't understand how long it takes to create what they do. So my whole goal for this is to go one step at a time without any expectations or anything, to be quite honest. Just create. I want to make mistakes as many as I'm able to, because that's how I find I learn the most. And this looks kind of like shit. Well, let me see what I can put in. But for now, what I'm ending up with, this one is a goddamn cheese grater. Like, what is this? First of all, the bendiest thing alive. But it's also because I measure by eye. And so far, that have not helped me. Well, needs to figure out something about that. Furthermore, running out of issue, not just measuring. Furthermore, cleaning, how to do that. And something that I always have is a lot of bubbles. That's something I have yet to figure out. It's because it leads to things like this, when there is a giant hole in the thing. And I like the design. I thought it looked pretty okay, despite the extremely rough edges and the fact that it still stick out. I want to figure it out, see how that's doable or not. Let me see if I can put something in here as well. I believe in progress the hard way, mistakes, losing your mind because you have no clue what you're doing. And I want to go through that because that makes any person stronger. And I hope for it. If you would want to stay with me for this journey, something to expect is a really raw emotions, really raw understanding of everything. I will make some dumb mistakes, and I bloody promise it, because that's who I am as a person. It's who we are as people, to be quite honest. I do not want to show a perfect world of how everything is done and how everything is, oh my god, I just figured it out. No. I believe that everyone in this world have at least one good idea, something that gives some value to the world. And I wish to find my purpose. People say that 26 is still young. I have plenty of time. But just because of the world we live in, the more and more I go through it, it seems like it's a lie. It's eating at me. And I want to see a little bit more about how far I can push myself to figure out my own purpose. Oops, made a mistake. There we go. Should I put some color in? This needs color, I think. So this is what I'm about. No drama, lie or false hope or anything, just a raw extension of who I am as a artistic soul, because this is who I am as a person. If this is something that you're interested in and want to follow along, please stay and see how far we can push. If you are creative yourself and someone who actually know about resin, I would love to hear your comments, your recommendation, your ideas, anything that could help just make this better. I will be trying myself my own ideas of how to fix each and every issue I have. I try not to search for stuff. I want to try to figure it out on my own first and then find an answer that's been already tested and figured. And with time, I want to get better and be able to contribute to the arts communities, but mostly practical arts, because this is where my soul lies. I hope you took something from this, and I'll see you next one. So it's time to demold what I made last time. It's been a day, and something I forgot to show is the fact that at some point I added some golden details in there, which I thought I wanted to add in the beginning, but then changed my mind and then changed my mind again. I think it creates for a better experience, but I'm not exactly sure how it's going to come out. We'll see. It has a little bit of a texture to it. So I'm guessing I didn't pop some of the bubbles and there's probably some stuff got onto the surface, so it's not perfectly straight. But maybe I can fix it. I'm not sure how, but sure. And I forgot that I had a lot of leftover resin, so I decided to pour it into this mold with this failure of a crystal with mostly gold and clear on the top. I just dusted some mica with a brush and hopefully it will come out okay. Filled it in with the color of the same mica I dusted with a brush. First, I'm gonna demold this one to see how the texture is, to see if the... because I completely eyeballed the resin. So it could be completely different and we're gonna have this situation on our hands. So here is basically the first time I'm doing it just clear, the most basic thing I'm guessing you can do, but honestly they're the simplest thing are usually the best. Less is more, so to say. Oof, some spillage. Let's see. Yep. Okay, that's not the worst thing I've ever seen. Actually, it's kind of cute, except the... there is some spillage. There is a little bit of... yeah, over here something fell into the mold. I need to start covering him up, and there is some imperfection over here. I'm not sure what happened. But in general, ideas seem to be okay. Let me see on this side where there should be no imperfections. Yeah, it needs to be covered up, doesn't it? Shit. I need to figure out how to remove all this resin without... yeah, I just cut myself. Oh, Jesus, I did cut myself. All this resin without, first of all, cutting yourself. It's still kind of soft. I don't know if it will toughen up. Maybe it's a bit too late, but it's been over 24 hours. So probably my eyeballing, again, didn't do well. But in general, not the worst thing ever. As a beginner, this is as much as I've done in general. And I have a lot of embeds that I ended up making. This is just a small pile of it. I ended up making all of these purely because I would always mix too much resin. And what you do, you don't waste your resin. So you make a lot of snakes. I have a lot of them. That's the reason that majority of these ones, they all have some kind of snake in it. Oh, giant finger marks on... okay. This one can stay a while, cure a while. Let me try to demold this one and see how that's gonna go. Honestly, I'm excited. Oh god, there's a lot of holes. Honestly, not the worst thing I ever made. Honestly, I'm okay with it. There is no depth to it whatsoever, but it is kind of cute. There's a lot of holes, a lot of imperfections. Yeah, if you look at it, there's like holes right over here. But the color didn't come out the worst. I want some degree of color change, some shades here, some shades there. But honestly, improvement from the squish pillow. Now it's actually semi-solid. Honestly, improvement. There's just a little bit of it in the sun. Looks pretty cute, I think. It was one of my first floor. I think it's not the worst. And this one come out pretty decent as well. Simple, easy, there's a bit of a texture to it. Something that I just saw is the fact that the hole is just sticking out completely. Well, that's probably kind of sanded off, I'm guessing. Still quite bendy, but it is what it is.